like to spend a few minutes today sharing with you how the 4 disciplines of execution fits in the broader strategic context of organizations. At the very beginning of an organization, from its very inception, the first thing you need to do as a leader is to carve out the things that you're going to accomplish. Why do you exist as an organization? This articulation can be your mission statement, purpose statement, whatever you'd like to call it. But this defines who you're going to be. Now, the next thing you need to define is, what does it look like to be successful? Now, this is a 5 or more year look into the future of, if you're successful at moving towards your mission, what are you going to look like? We call that your vision. Now, those 2 boxes are both aspirational. They're statements of things that you'd like to be. At some point, we need to turn the corner and build our plan on how we're going to get there. That becomes strategy. And strategy is a 3 to 5 year rolling view of the steps necessary to achieve your vision. At Franklin Covey, we look at strategy through 3 different lenses. The first is the stroke of the pen. As a leader, if I've got the authority and the resources, if I sign my name, it happens. You can think about acquiring a company, running an ad campaign, any capital expenditure that you put in place. Those are critical components to achieving a vision. They're just not where the 4 disciplines fit in. The next lens would be the lens of the whirlwind. As a leader, you need to get your arms around this, because it's all the time, energy, and effort required just to maintain the organization. I've always been partial to the balanced scorecard. It does a nice job of breaking the whirlwind into 4 categories that ensures that I have a holistic look of what it's going to take to be a successful organization. The first is financial. Think top line, bottom line of your P&L. The next is operational. Think of the quality metrics, the processes that you have in place. The third would be the employee box. Think about their development, their engagement, and productivity. And the fourth is the customer box. You can think about market share. You can think about their level of satisfaction. You can think about the share of wallet as well. All of these metrics can be viewed like the oil light on your car's dashboard. Now, we're setting performance expectations, and as long as the performance expectation is being met, the oil light stays off. In business, we call this exception management. Now, the third lens that we look at is the behavior change. And this is the area where most leaders struggle. To do this, the first thing we do is we carve out a wildly important goal in the 12 to 18-month time frame. That becomes our war. We use the X to Y by when format, and then we start what we call deconstruction. Now, deconstruction answers this critical question: what are the fewest number of battles necessary to ensure that we win the war? We continue that process all the way down the organization until we hit the frontline teams. They also get a lag measure, which is X to Y by when, but now we're going to introduce that lead measure. The relationship between the lead and lag measure becomes our strategic bet. We capture that bet into a scoreboard, and that becomes how we apply all of our commitments on a weekly basis to moving that lead measure. And you can see, we draw a tight box around the 4 disciplines because it's tempting as a leader to try and pull everything in from both the stroke of the pen and the whirlwind into this methodology. The 4 disciplines is meant to close a performance gap. It is not meant to run your entire business. Just because we have this new tool doesn't excuse us of running the rest of our organization. That's a quick look of how the 4 disciplines fits in the broader strategic context.